Hey everyone. All right, we're gonna get started. Sorry, my microphone was muted, and I was just talking with myself there for a while. Apologies for that. All right, so welcome everybody. It seems that audio and video are okay, so we're good to get started. So just a brief introduction. My name is Peter. I am the VooPlayer product manager, and we are holding these weekly Q&A calls in order to answer any questions from you as users, as well as to provide any training on advanced features, also to showcase new stuff that we've been working on, as well as to gather any feedback from you guys as users on both how we can improve the product, as well as how we can improve our offering to you as users. So the format of the webinar is pretty simple. At any point that you have a question, or if you came with prepared questions, just feel free to type them out in the chat box, and we'll start answering them in the order that they come in. Don't be shy. We've answered a lot of different questions, some silly, some not. So any question that you have, just feel free to ask it in the chat box, and we'll get to them in the order that they come in. Until questions start rolling in, there is a couple of things which I wanted to cover with regards to some of the updates in VooPlayer. First update that I think is going to please a lot of people is that if you were previously signed up to a VooPlayer Enterprise plan, and as a regular enterprise user, you had 50 gigabytes of turbo bandwidth on your plan monthly, we've decided to upgrade you to 200 gigabytes of bandwidth monthly, completely free of charge, in order to consolidate some of our accounts, and in order just to say thank you for being a VooPlayer user. So this upgrade of bandwidth applies to everybody who were on the enterprise plan and had 50 gigabytes of bandwidth monthly. That upgrade has this upgrade is going to carry over to 200 gigabytes of turbo bandwidth per month. So that's something that we just wanted to do in order to say thank you for being VooPlayer users. So that's one of the enhancements that we're making. Additionally, I would also like to touch on we recently had a Black Friday promotion, and a lot of new users are joining. So I just wanted to say welcome to anybody who has joined recently over the weekend. The Black Friday promotion was running since Friday up until I believe end of Monday yesterday. So we got a lot of new users coming in, so hopefully some of them are on the webinar. So I just want to welcome you and to VooPlayer and to VooPlayer community, and we're looking forward to amazing you with everything that we have to offer and being integral part of your marketing campaign. All right, so what else? I also wanted to touch on a couple of new features which we rolled out. With regards to the dashboard management, Shade is asking, where can we see this bandwidth setting? So the bandwidth setting is available directly on your dashboard. You can just take a look at the bottom right of your screen, and you're gonna see your bandwidth plan. So here it says turbo bandwidth, and I have 500 gigabytes just because I typed that manually in the database because I needed it for some testing. But usually you are have 50 gigabytes over here, and now everybody should be seeing 200 over here. So you can check that directly on your main dashboard. Graham is asking, could you show us an example of a VooPlayer video being used on somebody's actual website? Or if anybody like me that is here watching this webcast can link to one. Yeah, you can just shoot over to VooPlayer.com. There's a VooPlayer video there. So if I just open up VooPlayer.com, there's this button over here which says watch the demo. Can you see it? Yeah, and if you just click on this button, this video which comes up, that's a VooPlayer video. So if you just play that video, and there's a lock which you have here, so just type in Petter at IMW Enterprises and just hit continue watching. So what you're seeing here is the VooPlayer video. So you can just see it directly on the VooPlayer.com main site and just click on watch demo. Aside from that, we'll gladly walk you through any embedding or publishing processes, because there are different setups for embedding the video, having the video play as a pop-up, sharing the video, and so on and so on. So there's a lot of different configuration options. If you're curious into any specific use cases, we can cover them. Let's see. The question is, how do I use the opt-in pages? How can we max the Lander viewer page you provided? How do we set this as a real landing page for clients to refer to us? Unfortunately, I'm not aware of any landing pages that we are providing you, so that might have been a part of some marketing campaigns that I wasn't informed. So if you gotten a landing page, I'm just not necessarily sure what that is, Constance. So if you can just send us that question through support@VooPlayer.com, then we can direct it appropriately to whoever created that page. Now, not something that I am aware of. So hopefully that answers that question. Graham, yeah, as I said, if you have an issue with embedding your video on a particular website, should be done pretty simply. So you can just click over here on publish options on any video, or if you're directly inside of a video, there's a big red button which says publish, and that's going to give you a embed code which you can place on your website, and you can configure that embed code through many of the options which are below it. Or you can generate a pop-up embed code or just a link to share that video. So there's a lot of different configuration options. If you're curious about some of them, just let us know what you're trying to accomplish, and we can walk through that process from the video to embedding it on a website. So let's see, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, so a lot of you users we've noticed have a lot of videos, hundreds up into thousands of videos. So as a logical way to organize all of that, we've noticed that a lot of you have started creating groups, and the management of those groups thus far has been directly by just searching for that group and then just seeing the videos which are in that group. So we've decided to make that a little bit easier, and just a simple toggle over here on the dashboard where you can just switch between the list view, in which we are currently, and the group view will just list your videos by groups, and the rest of the process remains the same. They're just categorized by groups, so you can more quickly find the ones which you've been trying to identify. Let's see, we have another question. Am I allowed to use VooPlayer to sell to potential businesses and then provide them with the VooPlayer embed code to use on their sites if they give me a video to add to my account, or does this go against any terms and conditions that you may have? So basically, you want to act as an agency, go between the some third-party business and a VooPlayer, where you would basically have your own clients and then serve them with the product of VooPlayer. No, we don't have anything against that in the terms and conditions. The only caveat there is that, considering that your clients are not VooPlayer users, then they have no way of contacting VooPlayer support or requesting any support. So if you want to act as an agency, and you're able to configure a lot of cool stuff, such as setting up your custom site, your custom appearance for the site. So this My Site and Clients has been kind of envisioned for agency use. So a recommended way to really do that is you're able to manage buying sub, giving them out to your users if you want them to have access to VooPlayer. However, if you want to do all of the management, your custom appearance and custom domain for your site, and then you can just start accepting client work and you want to generate Vuel player videos for their custom needs and add features to those videos, and you just then nothing. So hopefully that model is going to work out well for you, and wish you all the luck with it. And if you have that process, just let us know how we can facilitate that use case a little bit better. See, my internet connection seems to be slowing down, so I'm not necessarily sure if the call is still on. Could I get a confirmation that you can still hear me and see my screen? Seems that my internet has crashed. Audio is going in and out. Yeah, so it does appear that we are experiencing slight technical issues. So just give me a moment until we try to resolve that. Sorry about that. All right, let's try it now. So hopefully you can all hear me now. Apologies for the technical issues. It seems like our internet connection was just going down. With regards to the sub accounts, I was just saying that you can purchase them and use them as an agency if you want your clients to have access to Vuel Player. However, in Graham's case, he was explaining a scenario where he would act as an agency and just provide the end client with the embed code, so he wouldn't necessarily even need to use the sub-client licenses. He would just be able to do it all on his own. All right, cool. So hopefully we're back, and hopefully you can hear me and see my screen A-okay. So let's continue. Has been any other questions? Can you please repeat that? I just did. All right, so we're good to move forward. All right, one more additional enhancement that we're making. We're still in the process of fine-tuning everything, but we've redesigned the video analytics module a little bit. So if you go into the insights for any of your videos, and you're able to do that directly from whether inside of the dashboard or from inside of the video, we've just remodeled some things to make them a little bit more logical to use. So we've grouped the viewer information, which we were previously collecting separately from the views information. We've grouped the viewer information together with the views. So now you're able to explore the viewer themselves compared to the view for your particular video. So here I'm able to see that Bill has watched this video, and I can see the segments that he's watched, and also dive in a little bit deeper into Bill's profile, what other videos he's been watching, when was the first time he watched any of my videos, as well as to get some of the social media info on him, which we've collected. So if I want to jump into his LinkedIn profile, I'm able to do that directly from inside of the View Analytics, whereas previously all of that information was collected in the viewers information, which was over on the sidebar. So small enhancements, just moving some stuff around, but hopefully makes it a little bit more logical for you to interact with and to gain understanding of how your audiences are reacting. Things that a couple of other things that changed, I believe. We've moved. So previously, we up here on the toolbar we had views by date, views by location, and views by device. So views by date has changed. It's separated over here on the sidebar, and the location and device information have been collected under the demographics report. And all of the actions, such as the opt-ins which were completed, the shares which were completed, the SMS, those are all now rolled into actions. And one final thing, and this might be the biggest thing, is the data time range, which we've introduced to analytics. So now you are able to change the date range for the analytics report. So previously you were locked into seeing all of the views at once. So now you're able to say, hey, I only want to see last 7 days, or just give me the data from today or yesterday. I don't know if I have any views for yesterday, but let's just check. Maybe I do on this video. Yeah, I have just a couple of views that I've been testing on the 27th. So you're now able just to change the date ranges so you get a more relevant report, or specify your own custom dates and quickly find what you're looking for. Let's see, what's the question? What's the bell icon at the top right for? This icon, this is the notifications icon. So currently we have, I don't have any notifications, but you will be getting a notification in a couple of days with our October release notes. So whenever we push any notifications which we consider of significant value that we want to notify either all users or some specific users, we just push a notification, and that is usually sent through a combination of email as well as as an in-app notification, which is available here. So those could be, as I said, some news which we want to promote, such as, hey, here is everything rolled up that we've done in November. So we just push out a notification for that. So that would be a small number one here. And then maybe something that will be unique to you, such as your bandwidth running out, or your storage running out, or maybe video contest which you set up, a winner being declared there. All of those would just count as notifications which you would receive both from both via email as well as in-app notifications. So hopefully that answers that. Let's see. Shay, I did want to follow up with you with regards to the last webinar call. We did discuss the improvements for removing the WooPlayer branding from some of the home from the login page, and I can't remember necessarily what all pages. I just want to let you know that we are actively working on that. We're just a little bit slowed down by some other things which we had, but we didn't forget about that. So those enhancements to removing WooPlayer branding from white label licenses are incoming. Let's see, what's the question? Are we able to send notices this way to our sub-users? No, that's a great idea, though. We haven't enabled master accounts to communicate to their sub-users in-app directly. However, you're always able to communicate with them through whatever marketing or CRM platform that you have. So no, short answer. Would we be considered? Would we want to consider adding something like that? I'm not sure. It will be kind of extensive to build out a platform for managing users. However, keep in mind that sub-users are getting some notifications from the master. So if I'm a sub-user and I want to get additional bandwidth, instead of buy bandwidth option here, I would have request bandwidth, and that would send out a request to my master account, and then when my master account would approve it, I would get a notification, and so on. So some master sub-account relationships are covered by that notification system. Let's see, Graham is saying, without having full screen enabled, is there a custom recommended largest size possible to embed the WooPlayer for use on browser? What I would do is I would base that recommendation on according to my incoming traffic. So I don't know, different types of websites have different types of visitors and types of technology and types of browsers and types of type screens that you have. So if you're in your analytics report, you can see what's the largest size that people are visiting, and if you're confident that not a lot of people are visiting from mobile screens, then you can set it to be whatever size you want. But usually the best practice that we are recommending always is to have the player be auto size, so that way it would conform to the size of your web page. So if your web page was 100% wide, so from all the way from the left screen to the right screen, then if and as is by default, the adjustable player size option is on, embedding that video on any page will take up all of the available space that it has in that container where you put it. However, you are always free to switch off that adjustable player size option and then just set up your custom size if you want. And as far as what the limit is, there is no limit. You can make it as big as you want. We would just recommend keeping it below the original resolution. So if the file which you uploaded was full HD, meaning that it was 1900, 20 pixels wide, I wouldn't go above that. If you upload a 4K video, you would go at 2000 whatever, right? So from our perspective, there is no limitation as to how large you can go. You can make the custom size as big as you want. Just keep it in mind that if you go above your video resolution, then the video is going to start looking jaggedy. And the best option that you have if you're embedding on a website, honestly, we always believe is the adjustable player size, which will make sure that that video is going to be resized properly from the smallest phone to the largest TV. If somebody is browsing it on their smart TV, it's going to look great. I'm just making sure that I answer that question so without having the full screen enabled, is there a recommended custom larger size possible to embed dual player for use on the browser? Yeah, if you want to specifically disable full screen, then you can apply the two methods which I described, either by embedding the code and then making the container as big as you want, or by specifying the custom size for the video. And you just do that by going to publish and then just turning off adjustable player size. Okay, cool. Let's see. Did we want to cover anything else? Also, a follow-up from the previous webinar. One of the users, Louis, noticed that we were having some Firefox issues with display. So I just wanted to follow up on saying that we've made some enhancements there, but we noticed that we have some work still to do there. So we're continuing the Firefox compatibility issues as well. So that's an ongoing effort, which will be hopefully completed in the next couple of releases. I did not have anything else that I wanted to cover, and hopefully all of your questions have been answered. Maybe we can squeeze in one or maybe two more if you type them out and just let me know. Otherwise, we'll start winding down the call for today. Just let me know if you have any more questions. It's been productive as always, and thank you for providing feedback. Once more, a warm welcome to all of the new users which rolled in through the Black Friday promotion. Hopefully, these webinars, as well as all of the training material which we have, they're gonna become very useful in your onboarding process. So. Hotspots? Yeah, sure. We can cover hotspots. Why not? So let's make a hotspot. So I'll take this video. Ooh, I forgot one thing to mention. So this might be kind of relevant to everybody, but we've added support for Google Ads inside of the video. So let me just play this video. So now when I start playing this video, I'm going to have Google Ads inside of my VooPlayer video. So that's also something new that we've added support for. So basically, you just grab the code from AdSense and just plug it into an overlay, and voila, there's Google Ads inside of VooPlayer. So let's just cover hotspots, and we'll just wrap the call up for today. So I'll just turn off this overlay because I won't necessarily need it anymore. I might as well delete the entire thing. So let's start from scratch. So I'll come over here to audience events, and I'll come over here to interaction and interactive overlays and annotations. So a hotspot is something that we would consider to be an annotation just because it covers a particular portion of the video with some sort of an action above it. So here's what we'll do. I'll just come over here to overlay styles and change it from a pop-up to an annotation. So here I created an overlay which is currently fully centered. So I'll just remove this headline because I don't necessarily need it. And I can have this overlay read as something like, click here to download a free report, maybe something like that. Seems useful. And I'll say I want to make this entire overlay clickable. And I'll specify the URL which I want for it. So something like, let's say, maybe VooPlayer.com. And we'll point it to there, and we'll style it a little bit more. So we'll come over here to styles, and I'll change the background of it slightly, so maybe it looks a little bit cooler on this yellow, maybe something with a little bit of contrast or something, maybe a little bit more monochromy. So something orange maybe. Oh, too orange. Sorry, I'm a little bit picky about colors. So let's make it like that. Yeah, that looks good. And then we can position that. So I can say I want this to be top left position, or I want it to be positioned on the right-hand side, or centered, or at the top. So I can just position it over here on the top. So that way you can position configure the basic positioning of the overlays to make them left align, top align, bottom line, and so on. I think I saw the post which you're mentioning on Facebook, and it was more relating to specific positioning of the hotspot. Like if you literally wanted to draw the hotspot covering a specific object in the video. So that's not something that we're currently supporting. However, we have an upcoming release which in December, which would cover a lot of improvements to the overlays and annotations and how they work and how they can be positioned, and some smart templates which we're thinking of to make all of these processes a lot more easier. So hopefully that's gonna become much easier. So just to wrap it up, so I've created this hotspot at the top of the video. I can just say I want this hotspot to appear from the 3rd second up until the 5th second, and I'll just save that overlay so I can see it over here. It's going to be appearing from second 3 to second 5. So there it is. So let me just go back. So I'm over here at second 2. So second 3 it appears. And it was clickable. Just go back. And then I can just click on it, and if I leave, it's gonna take me over to VooPlayer. So hopefully that helps. Okay, time to wrap up. Thank you for attending, and thank you for asking a lot of great questions. Hopefully you'll join again next week so we can keep improving VooPlayer. Thanks, everybody. Bye.